Hi there. Thanks for being here. So, today we're going to talk about the bedroom. And so I thought it would make sense for me to speak from my bed. So, our bed. Why is our bed so important? Why is there magic when it comes to our bed? And it has to do with a couple things. One, our bed is what holds the space between our outer life and our inner world, right? It's where we enter our dream life, but it's also where the subconscious is most malleable. And so if I had to pick one spot in the house that is the most important, it would be what happens in your bed. And it's not for what happens between the sheets, except for what happens within the sheets within your mind. And so what does that mean that the subconscious is most malleable at when we're going to bed and waking up? It means that there are 95% of our thoughts, and I say this a lot, 50,000 to 95,000 thoughts occur every single day within our mind, and 95% of those thoughts are held within the subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is the one thing that is holding us back, the primary thing that is holding us back from what we want. And so we want to find ways to work with the subconscious mind so that we can redirect those thoughts toward ones that we want. And I'm not going to go too deep into the subconscious mind right now, except that what happens in our bed is responsible for a lot of what's going on in our subconscious mind. And so we have to practice good bed hygiene as far as our mind is concerned. And so what we want to bring our awareness to is, what are we bringing to bed with us? So our bed, it's similar like who we bring to bed with us, we wake up with. What thoughts we bring to bed with us, we wake up with. Okay, so we want to start getting really intentional about what actions that we're doing prior to bed, but more importantly, what thoughts we're bringing with us to bed. Because our thoughts that we have as we're drifting to sleep are planting seeds in our conscious and subconscious mind. And overnight, those seeds proliferate. And so this is like, you know how yesterday I spoke about the life design method is one, identify what you want. 2, address the obstacles getting in your way. And then 3, align accordingly. That's what we're going to do when we get into bed is 1, we're going to get clear about what we want. Okay. And then we're going to address the obstacles getting in our way. Are we looking at social media before we go to bed? Are we watching a thriller movie before we go to bed? Are we thinking about the things that don't make us feel good? So that's the first thing we want to do is identify what we want. So I'm going to read this real quick. I feel like my subconscious has been too strong my whole life and the dreams are horrible sometimes. So I don't have a lot of experience with dreams, but what I can tell you is the subconscious mind is responsible for so much of our self-perception and how we perceive the world. And it's malleable. We can work with the subconscious mind. We can work with our perception. And that's why I love neurodesign, because we can use the canvas of our home to start accessing those parts of our subconscious that are hidden. And so this is why bedtime is so important. And so what I would recommend is when you begin your bedtime routines, like you can have like one symbolic gesture, like lighting a candle, and that is your symbolic gesture that says, okay, from this moment until I fall asleep, everything that I think, speak, and do is going to be in service of what I want. Whether you want a good night's sleep, whether you want to change your career path, whether you want to call in a lover, whatever it is, as soon as you start your bedtime routine, make that the focus. Now, let's get to the conversation about when you're in bed. So when you turn out your light and you're getting ready to go to sleep, I want you to bring your awareness to what you're thinking. I want you to bring your intention to the thoughts you're thinking. And the mind has been running rampant for our whole life. And now we get to rein that in. We are going to say these moments before I go to bed, and these moments upon waking, this is my real estate. And I'm not going to let my mind take me wherever it wants to go. And that's why we have to get really devoted and dedicated to whatever it is we want. Okay. So, and scrolling on Instagram, here's what happens is I want you to think of like your mind as your mental real estate. And the most important time for you to be aware and protective of your mental real estate is upon waking in the morning and upon going to bed at night. If you change nothing but those two things, you will shift the trajectory of your life. I promise. Like there's so many things happening within our home that can support what we want. And I would say right now, the most important thing for you to make a substantial shift in what's going on here and what's going on out in your life is to just bring your awareness to those thoughts prior to bed and upon waking. That's when the subconscious is most malleable. And so does anyone have any questions before I go on? Okay, so that is where our opportunity for change is. So a couple things are, how does your bedroom support you? Like, do you enjoy your bedroom? Do you like your bedroom? Because the subconscious mind is chattering with us all the time. And because our home is holding these repetitive patterns and routines that take place throughout the day, we're not even aware of what's happening. So we want to make sure that the space of our bed and in our bedroom, we want it to be a soothing environment, right? We want to soothe our nervous system. We want to regulate our nervous system. And so make your bedroom as calming and soothing an environment as possible. Okay. And that's going to help with sleep, but it's also going to help with focusing our subconscious. Okay. So we're in our bedroom and there's exercise equipment and there's a pile of laundry and the closet doors are open and we can see the mess. That is sending messages, right? I have too much to do. Oh my gosh, that's such a mess. I don't have enough time to do everything I want to do, blah, 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 blah. And so make sure your bedroom is soothing to your mind and your nervous system. And then bring your awareness to those moments before you go to bed. As soon as you start your bedtime routine, keep clean bed hygiene, clean, like bedroom, bedtime hygiene. And tell yourself, okay, no social media in bed. I am not going to look at my phone or scroll at my phone or check my emails or check the weather or whatever when I get into bed. This is my time to focus on what I'm calling into my life. And so this is where your imagination comes in. Your imagination is an incredible superpower, and it's like a muscle. And we mostly use our imagination, the superpower, to imagine what we don't want. Okay. And that's what happens when we go to bed. And if we're not aware of our thoughts, we're probably thinking about what we don't want. And that is a big no-no, because those are the seeds that we're planting into the subconscious mind before we go to bed, and they're going to marinate and they're going to be like nourished into the fertile soil of our mind. And so we want to make sure we're planting seeds that we want and not seeds that we don't want. And so this is where you're going to use your imagination and you're going to get viscerally clear about those things that you want, and you're going to play out that story. You're going to play out that narrative in your mind of what you want to happen. What is your life going to be like when you accomplish that thing or all of those things you want, and then feel the juiciness of that. And if you can hold on to that in the moments of drifting to sleep in your bed, you're going to wake up with a similar feeling. And you may not, okay? So one of the fascinating things about waking up in the morning is when you wake up in the morning, what you're thinking about is giving you an indication of what you went to bed thinking about. And so that's why it's so important that when we drift to sleep, we're thinking about things that actually help us love our life, help us love ourselves more. And so using your imagination and focusing on those things that you're so excited about calling into your life. And then when you wake up in the morning, do it again. Like focus if you can't, if you're having a hard time with your imagination, because again, we typically use our imagination to focus on things we don't want, and we want to change that dynamic. So when you wake up in the morning, if you're having a hard time imagining what you want, or if you feel like you need to jump on your day and get out of bed, just focus on what you're grateful for. Just focus, like say all your thankfuls in your mind waking up, and feel it. Because here's the thing. Everything that we're trying to do is to get our nervous system to buy in to what we want. Like this is how we regulate the nervous system. This is how we soothe the nervous system. But this is also how we tap into these innate superpowers that we already have just by being human. Okay. So the bed specifically, protect your time in bed. As soon as you get in bed, make it a rule that this is your time. This is your time to cultivate your imagination. This is your time to redirect the counterproductive thoughts of the subconscious mind. And it must be soothing. It must be uplifting. It must feel good. So whatever happens in your bed, let it feel good, okay? On a mental level, on an emotional level. Because what is happening when we're in bed is accessing the most fertile parts of our subconscious mind. And we want to make sure what we end our day with feels really good, because that's going to influence how we wake up in the morning and how we start our next day. And so if I could wish for anything, I mean, the whole reason why I'm doing everything I'm doing is because I want us to tap into our innate superpowers. I want us to tap into those natural resources that we have so that we can move closer to the life we want. And it just so happens that our home holds this map and this blueprint, which reminds me, if you want to just dive into the significance of each room in your home and how it relates to specific areas of your life, type blueprint in the comments and I will send you a link to my blueprint course. If you go through it nonstop, it'll take about 3 hours. And I also offer a discount in there too. If you want to take this work deeper, if you're like, okay, I need to work with my subconscious, I need to clean up my perception and my self-perception, and I'm ready to take my time and go through that, then type reset in the comments and I'll send you the link to my reset program. And if you're interested in either of those, you can also watch my free Power of Home and Mind Masterclass. And in that case, you would just type Masterclass. So type Blueprint if you're like, I want to get in there and work with my home. Type Reset if you want to take the deep process, and type Masterclass if you want the 45-minute deep dive into the power of home and mind. Okay, so does anyone have any questions about their bed and what happens in bed and why this truly is the most fertile opportunity for you to create whatever change you want in your life? Like literally, it is how you go to sleep and how you wake up. What are you bringing to bed with you, and what are you waking up with? And when we can bring our awareness to these little windows of time and be really disciplined, like, okay, when I step into bed, this is all about my gratitude and my what I'm calling in, what I'm summoning forth, and using our imagination so that it points us into the direction of what we want. Because we weren't taught how powerful our subconscious mind is. Like, for some reason, we just weren't taught that in kindergarten. And this is our opportunity to really tap into those things that are they're right there waiting for us. And so our bed is the place where we begin, right? It's where we begin and end our day. And those two windows of time are so fertile in working with the subconscious mind and planting those seeds that we want. So if you're just joining me, I have a program called The Blueprint, and it takes you room by room through your home, and it tells you the science behind the power of your home, but also, more importantly, the interconnected relationship between what's going on in specific areas of your life and how it relates to specific rooms in your home, and how you can work with your home to actually create beneficial and immediate and lasting change. And then the deep dive course is the reset, where we work with the subconscious mind, we work with self-perception and perceptions. And for that, you just type reset and in the comments. And then if you want my free masterclass, the Power of Home and Mind, type masterclass. So I think that's it. I think I've covered everything on the power of our bed and why we want to protect those moments upon waking and going to bed so fiercely, because we can literally change our life, our inner life, but the circumstances of our outer life, just by bringing our awareness to what we're thinking, what we're speaking, and what we're doing in these moments. So think of those moments of going to bed and those moments of waking up as you're planting seeds for whatever you want for your life. Okay, so guard this window, guard the real estate, but also guard the mental real estate, and guard these moments before going to bed, and plant the seeds of your intentions, plant the seeds of your desires in the moments before going to bed and upon waking. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much for being here. And tomorrow, I'm not 100% what the topic's going to be. I sort of let inspiration come to me. I have one idea, but we'll see where it goes. So if you're around, I will see you tomorrow, same time, and I will be posting this. So if you didn't get to see the whole thing, you can watch the recording. All right. Thanks so much and have a great day.